Why does the exact same coffee cost $2 in one cafe and $6 in another? Same beans, same water, same caffeine. And here's the weird part. People still buy the $6 one. Not because they're rich, not because they don't care, but because something deeper is happening. Something you interact with every single day without even noticing. Think about this. Every time you buy something, every time you choose between two options, you are participating in a system that decides prices, wages, rent, and value. You've been doing economics your entire life without ever realizing it. So in this video, I'm going to break down microeconomics in the simplest way possible. No formulas, no confusing definitions, just the real logic behind how people, businesses, and prices actually work. Welcome to Martic Finance. And as always, this is not financial advice. Let's start with something simple. What is microeconomics really? It's just a fancy word for something you already do every single day. It's the study of how people make choices when they can't have everything. Should you buy coffee or save that money? Should you take the cheaper apartment farther away or the expensive one closer to work? Every one of those choices is microeconomics. And here's the key idea most people miss. Microeconomics doesn't start with money. It starts with scarcity. You have limited time, limited money, limited attention, but unlimited things you could do with them. And because you can't have everything at the same time, every choice automatically creates a trade-off. If you spend 2 hours watching videos, that's 2 hours you're not studying, working, or sleeping. If you buy expensive shoes, that's money you can't spend on something else later. It's not just what you choose, it's what you give up when you choose it. That hidden sacrifice is called opportunity cost. Now, let's go one level deeper. Why do people choose what they choose? Why does someone pick the $6 coffee instead of the $2 one? Because humans don't just make decisions based on logic. They make them based on something called utility. In simple terms, utility means how much satisfaction or happiness you get from something. So when you choose something, your brain is not asking what the cheapest option is. It's asking, what makes me feel better overall? People are not perfectly rational. They are predictably emotional. And companies understand this better than anyone. That's why marketing works. So far, we've talked about scarcity, trade-offs, and consumer behavior. But now comes the big question. How do all of these individual decisions turn into actual prices? This is where supply and demand comes in. On one side, you have demand, how much people want something at different prices. On the other side, you have supply, how much of that thing is available. Imagine a new sneaker drops. There are 1,000 pairs available, but 50,000 people want them. What happens? People start competing, and the price goes up. Now flip it. Imagine there are too many products sitting unsold, but not enough buyers. Companies lower prices to attract demand. So price is where supply and demand meet in balance. Not perfect or fair, just the point where buyers and sellers agree. That's why prices constantly move. Concert tickets get expensive because demand spikes. Housing becomes expensive because supply is limited. Nothing is fixed. Everything is reacting. But here's one last layer. Not everyone reacts to price changes in the same way. Think about coffee. If coffee prices go up by 10%, do you stop buying coffee completely? Or do you complain and still buy it? If people change their behavior a lot when prices move, demand is very sensitive. If people barely change what they do, demand isn't very sensitive. Economists call this elasticity, but all it really means is how strongly people react when prices change. And that explains why some prices can rise quickly without changing behavior much at all, while others can't. Prices do something else too. They send signals. If the price of something goes up, it's not just more expensive. It's saying, people want this more than what's available. If the price goes down, it's saying, there's more supply than demand right now. But that's only half of it. Prices also create incentives, meaning they change how people behave. If something becomes more expensive, consumers buy less of it, and producers try to make more of it. If something becomes more profitable, more companies enter the market, and innovation increases. Prices are basically invisible instructions telling everyone what to do. No one is controlling the system. It organizes itself. Now, let's switch perspective. So far, we've mostly looked at you, the consumer. But there's another side. The firms, the companies that make, sell, and price everything you buy. Every button,